A lot of people come to Career Earth and talk to us about networking. It generally starts like this. I have been looking for a job. I have been talking to a lot of people. I have been attending conferences. I have been meeting people over coffee, but nothing is really translating. And one of the most interesting things that we actually hear is that people have been sending random requests on LinkedIn to connect with others. Out of politeness, most people tend to hit the connect button and follow you. But does that mean that the network has actually been formed? Does it mean that your network is strong enough that will translate into your requirements, meet your desires and aspirations? So, one of the things we realized when talking to mid career and early career professionals specifically is that they were networking but without any ROI. They did not even know how to measure networking ROI. For most of them, it was about attending a call, conference, meeting people, networking through friends of friends, going for parties, and so on. And isn't exactly what networking is. It is more of noise than substance. And in today's video, we want to take you through some frameworks at Career Earth that will help you strengthen your network, make meaningful networks instead of just creating more noise, which is actually very distracting. We will show you about how networking ROI should be measured. We will talk about focus and visibility. At what career stage does focus matter? And at what career stage visibility matters? And we'll share with you some of our benchmarking studies and career insights at the end. Hopefully you'll enjoy this video and you will see networking from a different lens. Let's create less noise and more substance. As I often tell you, अगर clarity होगा तो growth होगा तो आपको career में purpose मिलेगा, career अर्थ मिलेगा. Why are you working? What is the purpose of your life? That is what you should be aiming to answer through every action that leads to the creation of value for you and your loved ones. Let's get started. All professionals out there have limited energy. You spend this time with family, you spend a significant amount of time at work, attending events. Even flying from one location to the other takes a lot of time. In other words, you're expending a lot of energy. So, one important thing to ask yourself is the energy that I am spending in terms of meeting people, attending conferences, and building relationship, how does this translate into return on investment? Randomly attending events, sending contacts on LinkedIn, or talking to people over a cup of coffee may not be the best way of spending your limited energy and getting the ROI that you want. The second most important thing is focus versus visibility. Early in your career, you have to focus and make sure that your execution is very good so that you not only learn the skills and translate them into meaningful and impactful results, but you are also able to carry these skills over a lifetime. A lot of people tend to focus more on visibility because they believe that if they are connected to very senior people in an organization, their career will automatically start to rise. That may not happen. At least for the 90% of the cases that we see at Career Earth, that does not happen. As a result, trying to go after visibility early on in your career may not be the best option for you. Build your focus, and as you move towards the mid-career stage, their visibility matters. Obviously, as you become a senior leader, visibility becomes key to your growth and to the trajectory that you are planning to go from there on. That is why having a clear idea when to focus on work and building skills and less on visibility and when to accelerate on visibility is very important. And this is determined by the career stage of your life. Are you an early career professional, a mid career professional, or a senior professional? Now, let me walk you through some interesting case studies that will help you understand where we are coming from. So, Ria came to us. She's 24 years old. She works in a Big Four as a business analyst. And she told us something interesting. She said, I'm networking a lot, but I always feel that I'm behind. When we looked at the energy ROI framework and the focus visibility framework that we had discussed with you, what did we find? We found that she was spending a disproportionate amount of her time trying to do LinkedIn networking calls and so on and so forth. As a result of which her execution was suffering. And at some stage, execution matters because senior people will come looking for it and saying, so show me how you have done this. So we cautioned her against spending so much of time on just networking. She should focus more on building skills, delivering reliably, making sure that her execution is good. Early career compounds through execution. And most of the Harvard Business Review, LinkedIn Review, etc., that you see tend to say the same thing. Focus on building your execution skills, become a reliable person in the team, and that automatically compounds your career because you are seen as somebody who can be trusted with work, somebody who is going to deliver in due course of time. And that is how organizations develop recognized talent. Then we had Ram, who's a mid-career professional. Now, Ram was too good at his work. I mean, you should look at his performance appraisal ratings, and everybody has said that he's amazing. And everybody also said that he needs to communicate more. Now, this is one of the problems you have to be careful about. The word communication is used in a manner which covers for a lot of different things. It's not just the ability to communicate. It is also covering things like how good are you in terms of networking, are you visible to the senior management, so on and so forth. But this is not explicitly stated at the time of the appraisal. What we say is you should communicate better. That's a very, very ambiguous statement. So Ram was actually working on his communication skills. He spent more time fixing his emails and checking that it was well intended and it was very well nuanced. And he would often do that by using AI tools, which are already available at his disposal. But that was not the point. The point was that he was not visible. His ideas, his thoughts, the way he communicated his work was more about excelling at work rather than showing the leadership potential of visibility, taking initiative. And we sat down with him, and when we looked at the focus visibility framework, we realized that he was still on focus where he was a mid-career professional. And for a mid-career professional, endorsements matter. Senior people hire mid-career professionals not only for the work they do, but for reducing the risk that might be involved in a business. Because these are the people who know the business, they understand what is happening. So they are in a position to reduce the risk. Most people do not understand that. They feel that if they only work hard and they do a good job, it will automatically lead to promotion or to the next steps in their career. They lack visibility in the right form. Work hard, but be seen as someone who can reduce business risk, someone who is trusted, someone who can be endorsed, someone who can grow with the organization to senior level managers. That is why Ram was stuck. Once we fixed that part of it and he clearly understood what visibility means, not just working hard but being seen and being seen as someone who can reduce risk, his career just went ahead. Now, those are some very, very important points that you have to understand. Riya should focus on developing strengths. Ram should focus on visibility and being seen as somebody who's trustworthy and understands the business. Let me share with you some career insights from Career Earth that we have collected over the last year or so that we have been in existence. Obviously, many of these insights have also come over the last 25 years that we have been helping people in an informal way navigate their career challenges. So what do you think is our biggest career insight? Our biggest career insight is that more number of connections does not mean that you have more leverage. The second most important insight is that for early career professionals, focus is more important than just visibility. For mid career and senior career professionals, visibility is the key. What we have also come to learn and understand is that if you're going to keep attending a lot of networking events randomly, then the energy ROI framework gets distorted. You'll expend a lot of energy, and the ROI that you are getting out of it will not be anything substantial. Therefore, the goal should not be maximum networking, the goal should be optimal distribution of energy. Because if you distribute your energy in the right manner and measure the ROI properly, there is a higher chance of your success.